Hey guys, I'm Dimension Jump. Today we're reviewing the Wave 5 for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, which was released on the 12th of July of this year, which would have been today as of time of recording. And this wave, just like with the other waves, brings some old tracks from previous games like Mario Kart Tour, Wii, the Game Boy, those games, and bring them into two tracks or two cups and 8 new courses. And this is really fun. This is probably one of fun. This is a really fun wave, I would say, because there were some really cool, interesting tracks. For instance, in the final track in the Feather Cup, there is a track that's completely in like a bathroom area. There's another one that's called Daisy's Cruise, I believe, and that's just basically on a ship that's funded by Princess Daisy. And each of these tracks are really cool and really fun. One of my favorites is possibly, I think, another one is a track that's completely on a beach area, and each track has its own fun. I think, especially with the Athena course from Tour, which is the first one in the Feather Cup, that's quite fun because it takes place in this Greek course, and just like with all the other Tour tracks that have been shown off in the other cups and in the other waves, they are all really fun and they all take different routes and stuff like that. And like in the previous wave, we have some new characters. So in the previous wave we got Birdo, and now in this wave we got Kamek, Petey Piranha, and Wiggler. And these are really cool, cool characters to bring in because they are all introduced in previous Mario Kart games. So I think Kamek was in Tour, I believe. Wiggler, I believe he was in the 3DS version, Mario Kart 7, I believe. And Peter Piranha, I think he was also in Mario Kart 7, but I think he was also in Mario Kart Wii. I could be wrong about the Mario Kart Wii one, but I definitely think he was in Mario Kart 7. And these are some interesting characters, and I think I have played around with them for a bit. And Wiggler, in terms of his turns, he's got a very huge turn when it comes to him. I think that has to do with me choosing the Wiggler card. I believe because when I was using the Wiggler card with Wiggler, the turning, there was a big turn for Wiggler. And yeah, I do really enjoy how these characters are in the game, especially when it comes to Wiggler. I know I'm focusing on Wiggler too much, but I want to focus on him for a bit longer. And what I like about him is that whenever you get hit by an obstacle like a bat, or by one of the items like a shell or a banana, he'll turn angry and red, kind of like how he does it in the mainline Mario games. And that's really cool and interesting because I think that's an interesting detail to put in the game, because that's how Wigglers are like. If you hit them, they'll turn red and they'll just go on a rampage in the mainline Mario games, and that's really cool and a nice detail to put in the game. And now it's time for some gameplay. So for Wave 5, we got 3 new characters, that being Petey Piranha, Wiggler, and Kamek. And yeah, I think these are cool interactions, all cool characters to bring in. I think, it's really cool to see new characters being brought in. And yeah, I would say for the tracks, it's some nice ones. We got 3 tour tracks, 2 Wii tracks, 1 Game Boy Advance track, and 1 GameCube track. And yeah, I'm just going to show you some of my favourite ones. So starting off is Squeaky Clean Sprint. And yeah, I think these tracks are really fun, and it's nice to see how Nintendo are able to bring in old tracks, as well as doing like creating new tracks as well. So if you look at some of the previous tracks, we did get to see, or some of the previous waves, we did get to see not only old tracks from previous games, but also new tracks as well. And for Squeaky Clean Sprintway, this is really interesting because it's kind of like Ribbon Road or Ribbon Highway. It's one of those names. I don't harm to remember, where you take where you're placed in like a sort of like more human interaction or human area, and with Ribbon Roadway or something, you can see that like, oh, this is you're in like in a room, you're in another room. And again, with this one, it's really nice, and I do like some of the whole Mario aesthetics. Like you've got the Power Star curtain, you've got some, I believe, some blooper decorations as well, and as well as there's a duck. I don't know if you saw that, a duck with Mario's hat on. So that's really cool, and just I think that adds more to the track as a whole, because it makes the area the track more cool to look at. And yeah, now I'm going to show you another track that I like. So another one that I do quite like is the Los Angeles lap, and this is very similar to a bunch of the other tour tracks, in the sense that you go and do various laps in terms of like, oh, you're doing the first lap, normally, but then the second lap you're doing it backwards. And for the Los Angeles lap, there are, I think, elements of that, but towards the end, you do. I think that can happen. I think during the second lap, I believe, and on the third lap, I think you go back. I think the whole backwards going thing does happen on the third lap. So yeah, and I do enjoy this track because like it takes you around, a miniaturized version, or this game's version of Los Angeles and stuff like that. So. And I do like how you can just see the bunch of Toads and Shy Guys and Yoshis, and again it adds more to the track, and that you're seeing these characters from the Mario universe just appearing on several areas of the map, and yeah, and again this is this is one of those laps that's kind of like Rainbow Road, the Mario Kart 64 version, in the sense that there are different laps on different parts of the level. So yeah, and now we're on the final lap, and when I first played this, I didn't really know that we were on the third lap until I beat the track, until I beat the course. 2 blue shells, that's rare. Yeah, because I didn't know I was on the final lap until I think either I was halfway through the final lap, or I had just beaten the final lap and I beat the thing as a whole. So this is one of those laps that's like, oh, I've beaten it. It felt like it was over too quickly. It's like that. It's one of those tracks, and I think that's really interesting, and I think that what makes some of those tracks fun, because like, oh, you can just do a bunch of stuff, and now you're at the finish line, and yeah, now I'm going to show you another track that I like. Now this is Daisy's Cruiser, and this one is quite fun. It's like, I would say, in terms of, obviously this is the most simplest track out of the tracks we've seen so far. It's pretty much simple. You just race about on a boat, and that's it. And this is pretty fun. And hang on, if I wait here, hold on. If you can see, all the items and the chairs and stuff just moves on their own, and I think that's because it's like one of those things you see in, like, you know, cartoons, stuff like that, or comedy shows, where because of you'll see like the rocking of a boat and everything will just move to the side and stuff like that. And if it's in a comedy show, something like that would probably happen. So I think that's quite cool. And yeah, and again, very simple. This is a very simple track. It's not one of the harder tracks, I would say, in this pack. It's one of the more simpler ones, and I do enjoy it. Though I do enjoy like having to either take the shortcut or just go it normally. So this is the normal way, and that yellow pipe is the shortcut way. And yeah, it's just one of the, again, it's one of the easier tracks in the pack, and it just has a lot of fun. And now I'm going to show you one more track that I like. Now the final track that I like, that I'm going to show off, is Vancouver Velocity, and this is another tour one, and I think this is the third tour track in this pack, and this is like one of those, another winter themed ones, so another one of those snowy areas, and I think this is quite cool. It's not like the other snowy track. I don't remember what it's called, but it's definitely another tour track where you're on the mountain and stuff like that, and you can trick off some ramps, that kind of thing. For this one, it's just you're going through this like sort of Christmassy type of course, and it feels peaceful in that sort of sense. I do like the whole Christmas thing that's going on, and I do like how like it's very different from the other snowy Christmassy type tracks that this one has. Is you've just got, because like, yeah, I don't know how to explain it, because like it's a snowy Christmassy area, but it's different. So yeah, and again, and also there's one part of the track that I do like. Hopefully I'm going to try and do it in both this lap and the next. We're quite close to it. So yeah, if you can see in front of us, there's the arena, and it's basically an ice skating arena. And what I like about this is basically it's just a giant ice skating arena with shy guides and stuff. And I do like how in this lap you go in one direction, and then in the final lap you go a different direction. And I'm probably going to do it. Going to show that off in this part of the lap. So yeah, and also like in the tour tracks, you go in different directions, that kind of thing. You might go backwards in a particular area, and yeah, you might take new directions, you might lap some people, that kind of thing. And ooh, these bats, I never had a problem with those bats. But yeah, I do like how you just, like with all the previous tour tracks, you just go in different directions and stuff like that. And it's more just how to like, just how to like, oh okay, I've got one direction, now I'm going the other direction. So yeah, and now you're going in the other direction. So you're going, instead of taking the left pathway, You're not going in the right pathway or the more center one, I would say. So yeah, that's been it for the gameplay. Now time to go back to the review. So overall, I did really enjoy. I have really enjoyed this new wave from Mario Kart 8, and yeah, this is and I can't wait to play. Well, I'm looking forward to play Wave 6 when that comes out, and yeah, overall, this wave has some really fun tracks to play around in. Um, if it comes to versus mode or just the Grand Prix, or if you're doing the time trials, and yeah, I think looking back at all the previous tracks, it has been fun playing through all these old tracks and just experiencing them how they've been updated to the Mario Kart 8 formula when it comes to the drifting or whatever, or the customization of the carts, or even the anti-gravity, stuff like that. It's been so cool just experiencing these tracks in a new way, and I think with these ones, a lot of them make them a lot more fresh, as I've been saying, when it comes to the previous waves. And yeah, I've just been having a lot of fun with these waves, and this wave 5, has been really fun. And when it comes to wave 6, I don't know who's going to be in the next wave when it comes to the next characters, because the only two character slots left when it comes to wave 6. So whoever is going to be in this wave, it's going to be interesting to see, because there could be a lot of possibilities like Diddy Kong, Pauline, Funky Kong, or whoever. It's just those last two characters are going to be. We're quite cool to see who's going to make an appearance, and the final wave 6, is also going to be cool, and I'm looking forward to the next wave. But for wave 5, for now, it's fun. I've enjoyed all the tracks. I think they're really fun to play around in, to have some fun in, and yeah, I think they're all really cool tracks. So that's been my review for Wave 5 for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next video.